So our Shika Maika reached out to us and said, you know what, looking at the way this country is running, not just from leadership, but from everybody who is in the country, I think we just need to rethink how we are doing things. His name is George Mugo. He's an educationist and an
educationist.
Administrator.
An administrator.
There we go. That one.
George, how you doing?
Anafanya education na administrate.
Yes.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Sir. Good.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
Before we give you the mic, we want to first give you the quotes.
All right.
Jano has the day's quote.
Yes, Jano. I do. The day's quote is here, and it's cited as an African proverb, and it says, "Beware the naked man who offers you clothes."
Beware the naked man who offers you clothes. I would want to, you called me a preacher. I'm not a preacher per se, but I prefer man of God. But let me answer it from that perspective. There's a time that Jesus met the Pharisees and they were telling him things about the law, but Jesus was telling them, clean up your cup before you tell us what to do. So basically, I look at it, Jesus was looking at it from the perspective of these guys were hypocrites. They were saying things that are not practicing. Yeah, so I would want to look at it like that. Like if I am single and you're married and I'm telling you about married things, or I'm telling you how to be a happy, or rather how to have a happy marriage, and I'm single, it doesn't make sense. So that's what
you have no experience.
Yes,
but you have perspective.
Vision, perhaps.
Vision. Wow, you're saying it's manifestation. Like, this is what I would like if I was married.
If I was married.
If I were you and I were married.
But you don't know what is happening inside. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, George. So you reached out and you said that you have a new vision for Kenya.
Yep.
A way in which things should be done.
Yep.
And he said, guys, I'd like you to give me the mic.
Yep.
So I can bring out these issues.
Okay.
George Mugo.
Yeah,
Shika mic.
Maybe before we talk much, I'm usually of the belief that my mom taught me when you go to a place, usienda mkono mtupu, right? So I came with, I hope it's okay, insert some chocolate for the beautiful ladies.
Thank you so much.
We need it. He just brought
for Eric, easy.
I'll pass it.
No, for Eric, it's bro code. I can't bring you chocolate, but we have a farm and we do eggs. So we have a tray of eggs for you in the car after the show. Right. My name is George Mugo Simba.
Thank you.
And Simba stands for Simama Imara Madam Bro Amka. All right. And I am, let me say, educationist per se. I've invested in the education industry. We have a school. I've also invested a little bit in the bakery industry. I've also invested a little bit in the entertainment industry. I'm a musician. I play guitar, I have a band. But above all, I usually say that God has put in me a passion for leadership, spiritual leadership and political leadership, okay? So I look at the mountain of government, I look at it from a perspective of a priest, like God has called me to be a priest on the mountain of government. Yes, that is George Simba for you. Yeah. Now, you talked about, or rather I talked about fixing the nation, and the idea that I have is Trinitocracy. Let me say it slowly. Trinitocracy, for the sake of our viewers. And it's not really a new idea per se. It's, let me say, you see, I'm married, okay? So I joined my wife, okay? And we have children, okay? And we named the children. Okay, so it's the same thing. I've come up from an angle of looking at our leadership, ideally our government, okay, and what new thing can we be able to inject? Because right now there's a lot of bile in the air, okay. So I sat down and thought, of our period, since 2007, post-election violence up to now, and I've seen all those dynamics, seen the way the 2010 Constitution was enacted, and seen all the fathers except Kenyatta. I saw Moi, I saw Kibaki. I've seen Uhuru, and now William. All right, and I've seen everything is just cyclic. We are going back to the same thing constantly. So I sat down and thought, what new thing can we be able to inject, okay, to be able to change the thinking pattern, to change our mindset? And I saw, you saw the way the Gen Zs came up, all right? They're bringing something new, something that our parents have not been able to do. So I come in and add to the same. William, the president, was asking the other day, what new thing are you guys bringing? Okay, what new thing are you guys, don't just make noise out there. What new thing are you bringing? And I propose the way of Trinitocracy. What does this mean? I take democracy, all right, meaning majority rule. Of course, the majority leader usually says, let the majority have their way, and then the minority have their say. Then I looked at, of course, we've seen very many democratic countries, the US, Big Brother, and many others. And then there is theocracy, okay? Look at the Vatican. They do their things, or the way the authority is dispersed is through theocracy, okay? Then look at ancient Israel, same thing, okay? Now, I'm picking the principles of democracy and the principles, I'm picking the definition of democracy and the principles of theocracy and fusing them together to form a Trinitocracy, okay? Now, where is my rationale? Why? Okay, why am I doing that? Now, if you notice, I'm usually on X. I check X many times.
What's your handle?
My handle is George's Mugo 7. Now, there's this professor, great professor, Professor David Ndii, and I quote, on 24th of May, on May 19th, 2024, that was last year, he said, the thing many people refuse to face up to is that Kenya is a kleptocracy. Pause. So what is this kleptocracy this guy is talking about? And mind you, this is a chairman of the Presidential Council of Economic Advisors. All right, he sits in the presidential advisory. Okay, so if you look at the dictionary, kleptocracy is a Greek word coming from kleptes, that means thief, klepto, I steal, and kratia from kratos, that is power and rule, also referred to as theocracy. Okay, this is a government whose corrupt leaders, kleptocrats, use political power to expropriate the wealth of the people and land they govern, typically by embezzling or misappropriating government funds at the expense of the wider population. One feature of political-based socio-economic thievery is that there is often no public announcement explaining or apologizing for misappropriations, nor of any legal charges or punishment levied against the offenders. You saw what the president said this week on Monday, that parliament is corrupt, okay? Confirming the same, all right? So we could say, but we could probably say it's called David Ndii prophesied, said, yes, this is true. There is a kleptocracy. Then he finishes and says, the corporate cartels and government are one joint criminal enterprise. There is no market for professionalism and honesty in either sector. We are all professionals here, right? By the way, I have electrical and communication engineering, okay, and I have an MBA in mass communication from Daystar University. Yeah, so we are all professionals. But the question is, are you honest? All right? The senator who was here, and I saw Senator Manzo, and all the things that you guys were talking about in Parliament, is there honesty? So how do we answer the honesty aspect? Then we come to the principles of theocracy. That is Trinitocracy in a brief.
Okay.
Okay.
First of all,
what's that?
That's
our way of
appreciating.
appreciating.
Makofi.
Yes. Makofi
Okay.
atia imeenda shule
All right.
kidogo. Thank you so much, one, for approaching us and wanting to shika the mic. And you're coming from a really good place. I am only curious about, I'm curious about a few things actually. Let me not say only, but let me start with Trini implies three.
Yeah.
Theocracy.
Theocracy means
Democracy.
the rule of
And is there a third?
No. It's just Trinitocracy. Tocracy is rule.
Yeah.
Trinity is God the Son, the Holy Spirit. Yeah, God the Son,
The Father,
and the
the
Holy
Holy
Spirit. Right.
Okay. Sawa.
So is that what it is then?
No. You see, when
What is
you
Trinitocracy? Are we bringing the Trinity into democracy?
No. We're not bringing the Trinity. We're picking the principles of the Trinity and bringing them into democracy. Okay, so that we sort out the issues that are affecting us.
What are these principles of the Trinity?
Of course, there is honesty. All right. There is character. Now, let me give you an example. Allow me to quote scripture. Psalms 115, verse 19. 105, verse 19 talks about Joseph. All right. Joseph was a man who was filled with the Spirit of God. He ended up being prime minister in Egypt. Okay. Pharaoh comes and says and actually confesses and says, this is a man who is filled with the Spirit. That scripture says before Joseph became prime minister, before his dreams came to pass, his character was tested. That's where the principles come in. There is character in, basically the Trinity helps us to fix our character so that you get into government with character.
So we're already religion. Oh, sorry, you were doing a trail of
it's okay.
what you're curious about. I'm just thinking
that.
we're already a religion. I know there's religion and faith.
Yeah.
Does it complicate things further? Because number one, there's been some version, I think, of Trinitocracy that's been fronted.
Yeah.
Whether it's like, we're going to, build a church in State House and make sure that it's centered on faith and prayer.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering what Trinitocracy is missing or what needs to be added. Let me rephrase my question. It seems like there's been a weaponization of faith.
Correct.
Right? And so some might be listening to this and saying, I already feel excluded.
Yeah.
Because number one, I wasn't even a person of faith. But number two, this faith that is platformed is very divisive and polarizing.
Yeah.
But you're saying, no, maybe it's been done the wrong way. If we did it this way, then I believe it will reset our society. So what's been done wrong? Yeah. And where does the reset need to come in?
Let me give you an example I build it on principle, all right? For example, Article 43, okay? Right now, all of us are feeling the weight of taxes, okay? Go through scripture, you'll see the story of Rehoboam, okay? This is where Israel split into two. Why? Because during the times of Solomon, he had put so much taxes on people. And even Rehoboam had put so much taxes. Then he said, the people came and told him, please, sir, reduce the taxes and we'll be loyal to you. But he told them, go and come back after 3 days, and then I will give you my decision. The guy went and spoke to the elders. They said, listen to the people. And then he said, let me go to the young people. Then he said, the young people told him, enda wafinya kabisa. Yeah. So he went back and told the guys, I'm going to give you heavy taxes. And what did they do? Israel split into two. Same thing. See what happened when William the president came into office. All right? Guys were complaining. Okay. Even the elders told him to reduce. He didn't listen. What is happening right now? The Gen Zs rose up and go to the ground. You'll see the pain. Okay? Now, the principle of Trinitocracy there comes in article, and I remember Kimani Ichung'wah mentioned once that this thing is enshrined in Article 43. So what I'm doing, or what the model that I have is, Article 43 says every person has a right to, I won't talk about all of them, that is A, B, C, D, up to F, and then number 3, the state shall provide appropriate social security to persons who are unable to support themselves and their dependents. So what I'm proposing is an amendment of that article and introduce 4. So there are 3. And then we introduce 4, which says the state shall take measures to ensure all goods and services involved in the daily businesses of buying and selling within the boundaries of the Republic of Kenya be subject to 3 categories: basics, comforts, and luxuries. All right? Where basics are 0 rated. Everybody can have food. Comforts are probably given 7 to 12% so that the members of parliament can play around with the finance bill, right? And then luxuries, probably 21 to 24%. So that if I have bread here, the 100 grams bread probably costs, how much? It costs 130 bob.
Probably.
We say,
120.
if it's a basic, if it is considered as a basic, what you do is parliament comes and says, for this financial year, bread will cost how much? Say 50 shillings, for example. Okay? It's a wheat product. And then we come and say, mandazis, all right? Mandazis are comforts, okay? Tax them 7 to 12%. Okay? And then we have cakes. All of them are wheat products, but cake is a luxury. Tax it 21 to 25%. So what will happen? Everybody will be assured to have food
The basics.
on the table.
I like that.
That is the principle.
I like it.
But that is
I'm
not
wondering,
different from what we have.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was thinking through. Kenya already, in a sense, is a trinitocracy when you think about it. We are a democracy. Well, we try. We are not a theocracy for sure, but a lot of our values are also similar to religious values. We recognize religious institutions. We recognize that there is a God. Even constitutionally, we recognize the Kadhi's courts. We recognize all of these. So then, and all of these principles are enshrined in holy books and in religion. So then what's different between what you're proposing and what Kenya is right now?
So what is different is we are introducing, we are trying to change the mindset. We are trying to change. Now, when the 2010, if you look at the 2010 constitution, when it was drafted, there is something called the spirit of the 2010, the spirit of the constitution. From where I sit, the spirit of the constitution has been violated. It has been defiled. Correct, you may say that's what is being implemented. But when you go to ground, you don't find anything like, it's not anywhere close. All right? So I come and propose the trinitocracy, or rather the theocracy part, helps to protect the purity of that constitution. It helps to just protect that purity of the constitution. And this is where now we introduce this terminology, or the 3 things called the king, the convergence of the king, the prophet, and the priest. All right? Bring them together so that these solutions, all right? Solutions to our issues.
Who are these 3? The king, the prophet, and the priest.
The king, the prophet, and the priest, they are authorities. For example, right now, William is the king. He represents the kingly authority. Okay? Now, the priest, there's another point that I'd mentioned here. There is the office of the spiritual leader. That's a priesthood. When William was being, the president was being inaugurated on September, right? He knelt down, and what happened? There was a church led by Bishop Mark, okay, who conferred spiritual authority to him, okay? Now, that is the office of a king. Bishop Mark represents the office of the priest, okay? And then there is the office of the prophet. Now, the prophet, basically, anything that speaks to something that is going to take place, that is the office of the prophet. And right now, the prophecy that is around from 2010 says that Kenya is going to be there's going to be revival in the land, and revival of a culture, revival of economy. At that time, it was this guy called Reverend Bonke. He said that. All right. So that word is
was
really
he the only one who was giving a prophecy on the country at that time?
No.
So why do we take his and not the other?
Because it's supposed, when the moment a prophet speaks, you catch it, okay? And you catch it and make it personal. so that it comes to pass.
So, George,
all right?
George.
Yeah.
Are you saying that we establish the office of a prophet?
No.
And establish the office of a priest?
No.
Because we've already established the office of a president.
No. What I'm saying is we understand the principle and use the principle to ensure that these offices are safeguarded.
So how do we do that?
All right.
Which offices? The prophet and the...
No, the office of the king. Basically, the office of the king. Now, let me give an example so that it becomes...
Plenty of safeguards, but okay.
Let me give an example so that you understand, all right? And allow me to use scripture, okay? So we have 3 kings, 2 Kings chapter 3. We have 3 kings who are going to fight Moab, all right? Then they pass through a desert, okay? Then along the way, their water comes to an end. So they reach a point and they ask, is there a prophet here who can help us? What do? They call Elisha. Elisha comes and says that I'm going to speak to the Lord on your behalf to help bring a solution. But first bring me a harpist. That harpist represents the office of the priest. All right? Then the office of the prophet, who is Elisha, the moment he starts playing, there is solutions. Then these 3 kings find solution. Now, let me bring it home.
Yes, please.
William. All right? Look at the things that are happening. Okay? The other day you saw, a few months ago, I think, you found him. We saw those videos on TV. There's this whole priesthood, like the church. They were called to State House, okay? Just to try and bring solutions, to try and make what do you call it, this word? To try and bring solutions, or rather to try and fix the problem, what is happening in the country, all right? Especially with Gen Zs and etc, all right? And the economy. Then when they go there, what happens? Of course, there is prayer, there is word, and then maybe there's a kabahash or something like that. There is tea.
They call it tea.
And then they bless that place because William is the president, correct? And then they leave. That is the office of the priesthood, okay? Now, I bring it now from, let me pick it up from Bishop. See what happened in 2023? June, when the Gen Zs went on, not the Gen Zs, the Azimio group and etc. And then last year, and then this year, there's been deaths and all these things. But this office is silent.
Which office?
The office of the priest.
Where is this office? I am so lost.
It's like a part of a delegation of the king.
Is it?
So the king comes with, there's a priest
How is
advisor.
it represented in today's,
I feel like it's very hard not to pick someone.
Is the church?
Yes, the church is the priest.
Is the office of the priest.
Apparently.
So religious leaders, let's
say religious.
Leaders.
Somebody who is able to speak to God on behalf of the people.
All right.
So
religious leaders.
Okay.
But not non-Christian religious leaders. Is it
do
all
we
religious?
include the Muslims?
You see,
Hindus?
let me say, because they're also priests.
Yes.
See, when the Pope was being inaugurated, who went there? The big boys were there, Trump and etc, and even the Muslim councils. Why? Because they honor that authority. All right. The Pope is there as the priest of the Catholic Church. Okay. When he speaks, the kings have to listen. That's what I'm talking about. And he comes with principle.
So we already exercise that, George, in this country.
He's saying the spirit is, you're saying the spirit of it is what is not being.
Are you saying we have fallen short of
spirit-
the glory of God?
Of course.
In a sense.
That's in a sense. But ideally,
So what we need to do is return to that glory.
return there.
Okay, how do we return to that glory? How do we actually know where the glory is and how far off we are?
Now,
Because I'll take you. Our laws actually do, just like Mariam was saying, they actually do recognize some of these as our values as a people, right? The preamble of our constitution acknowledges God. Then Article 10 of our constitution acknowledges our values as a people. And how we shall have our national values. We also have an entire chapter on ethics and integrity, right? As a people. So we know that Ubuntu is a very strong thing for us. that we shall treat each other fairly. We shall treat each other equally, equitably, and all. That those who are in positions of leadership are expected to live by these values. So we're already there. And it's a democracy because we shall elect. Okay? And even the ones that win, and the ones that don't win also have a space and their voice is heard. We acknowledge all those things. So we're already practicing your Trinitocracy, or whatever we want to call it.
We're just unable to implement it to its full, what should I call it?
Or maybe we're implementing it. Just like we keep falling short. Just like even you quote scripture, it was just ups and downs, ebbs and flows.
But now the question is, why are we not getting there? And that's why I'm trying to answer the question, why we're not trying to get there. Now, there's this part of how do we implement it? There's a part of we have to touch a bit of the law. Okay? Now, I have, from this model, I have looked at, it means adopting, refining, and amending 9 sections of 2010 Constitution. All right? Now, Cap 4, Article 43, the one that I've just mentioned. Cap 7, Article 89. Cap 8, Article 93 to 98, and Article 123. Cap 9, Article 130, 152.
What are those articles of the Constitution?
Let me see. Let me pick like one of them.
Maybe we just go through them one by one. Sorry.
It was Article what?
Let me see. Article 43.
Article 43 of the Constitution is
Article
about
43 is about economic and social rights. So this is where I've said the state shall take measure to ensure all goods and services involved in the daily business of buying and selling within the boundaries of the Republic of Kenya be subject to 3 categories: basics, comforts, and luxuries. Simple. Okay? Simple. That is article. Next is article.
Oh, we're not doing one by one and then we interrogate.
Article.
That one we already interrogate, and you said we live.
We do. We live
that.
it. Yes. So I'm saying what amendments are we making? Because luxury goods, we have our syntax.
A basic item.
Okay.
But now let me say, and when you go to buy, like now I bought this chocolate. Is this chocolate a basic, or is it a comfort, or is it a luxury?
Comfort.
When I buy it, is tax involved?
Yes.
Now, assume it was bread. Tax will be also involved, correct? So the proposal here is make bread basic so that the tax is removed.
You don't need a constitutional amendment to that.
Okay. But then again, where I'm coming from is this. Look at the finance bill. Okay? 2023. That's why we were fighting that it should not be passed. Yeah? So when we put it and enshrine it in the Constitution, every time they try, the courts will say that is unconstitutional and it won't pass. That's why I'm saying, I'm insisting that it must be.
Can I share some feedback really quickly, which might add? Because sometimes I think it's the choice of king, choice of priest, the intention within which they exercise their authority, which sometimes is weaponized and abused. We've even seen it in the said Bible. Norbert Owori is saying, I feel like he's complicating a very simple thing. We know what ails this country. Why make it mathematical and CRE it? Why CRE it?
Like Christian religion
education it. Okay, but Rosemary says what is lacking is the character to uphold the Constitution. Charles Nunga goes ahead to say, look, his sentiments make sense, but the clergy is divided. There are tumbocrats and sincere people in that sector. The tumbocrats seem to carry the day. So I think to the point Mariam and Eric are making is, I think it exists. What maybe people can't say because it's not rooted in data is that those who are supposed to present or lead are weaponizing that leadership. It's hard to factualize it, it's hard to data it.
But you know.
And then again, faith sometimes is relative, right? If you're in a certain journey of your faith, what people are saying doesn't make sense to my circumstance. I don't have food. And you're here saying Trinitocracy is the way to go. Other people who are maybe further along are like, I get it. It's like a Moses situation. It's like he's the chosen one, and he was chosen to set his people free or to lead them. Then somebody can come and anoint themselves Moses. You know what I mean? So number one, it may seem very it may seem, it doesn't seem relative to somebody's circumstance.
Correct.
Their situation doesn't quite coincide with this. They're like, Trinitocracy is the least of my worries. That's one. Two, is this thing of the choice of priest. Some might argue it's through an election. But I think the spirit of it has to have the intent of the people who carry these crowns and wear these robes. And as long as that's lost, people will just keep weaponizing Trinitocracy. So how do you even make it work?
Especially in your context again. And then is the priest, or of what faith is the priest? Because we have many faiths in Kenya, and we have those of no faith. We also don't have a state religion.
What are you laughing at? Let's interrogate. I know it's complex, but let's break it down.
I know. It's a powerful question.
It's so simple.
You're a priest. Someone who are Christian faith. Which denomination?
Let's pull out the religion and priest thing. Let's pull it out, okay? We were going through the amendments.
So now here we're coming to practical law.
Practical law. Okay.
And your first thing of inserting a clause in Article 43 saying that the state shall make
goods
and services
basic
categorize those three. And then I think then it would be the role of Parliament to then put these items under the various categories.
Yes, correct.
Every year with the finance bill.
Right.
So this year, Mr. Speaker, we propose to move maize from a basic to a luxury good item. Because of the prevailing, maybe people have started now just taking maize on just Christmas.
Let me try and bring it home. Let me give another example. Let me give another example. Look at the housing finance. All right, I'm an employer. I have about 21 people on my payroll. Okay, and I pay them. When the bill came, they were crying, saying, "Boss, why are you doing this? I mean, should this go through?" Right? Then I thought about it. See, a house is a basic need, correct? Why do you force me to pay tax? But why don't we look at this? Because I remember Hinga, the PS, when he was sweating trying to explain the idea, right? You remember that? Then I sat down and thought, no, break the house. See, there are stones, there is kokoto, there is ballast, there is tiles, there is all those things. Classify into basics, comforts, luxuries. You have a house. You build a house, you say, Parliament comes and says stones, right now a stone is about 55, 60 shillings. Say a stone is a basic need. So control the price, say a stone will be 30 bob, correct? So everybody will be able to have a stone house. So that will be the end of, what do you call it, slums, right? Then cement.
If I want now fancy finishes.
That is luxury. The tiles, for example. So you put them in luxury, tax it.
Tiles would be luxury.
Tiles, it's just an example. It's just an example, okay?
I get
you get the point, all right?
Marble.
Then there is another part that is very interesting. There is amendment of Chapter 7, Part 2, Article 89 by deleting Section 1, stated and replacing
Which
with...
article?
That is Article 89, 1, by deleting Section 1.
Article 89, 1.
Stated...
I'm trying to scroll down as you go. 89, 1 currently.
Seen it?
Yes.
So it says...
No, I'm on 82.
So what the proposal is, based on Trinitocracy model, that Kenya shall be subdivided into 10 provincial or state regions, including the Coast Province, Southeastern Province, South Rift Province. In the previous one, there were 8. So right now what I'm proposing is that
in the previous
split in the previous, before 2010, the constitution before 2010.
We had provinces.
Yes, we had provinces.
In
and
our
there were
constitution
8.
Here, Article 89 is electoral units.
Yes,
which
this is electoral units.
290 constituencies.
Correct. Now I'm building from top, okay? So the proposal that I have is we split Rift Valley into 2, South Rift and North Rift, and then Eastern into 2, North Rift and Northeastern and Southeastern, so that we have 10. Right now we have 10 state provinces. Okay? And I'll go slowly.
So what happens to devolution?
Easy. Now, check this out. We have the president going to Mombasa State Lodge, Kisumu State Lodge, Sagana, all the time. When he goes there, that's when the people feel power has come. Why don't we devolve the presidency?
But we've done that.
Listen, okay?
Continue.
So we introduce councils. We introduce council members who are 10 who will be in charge of those regions. Okay? And this will
the county assembly.
easy. Easy. What just listen.
Okay.
So I go slowly.
Okay.
So the 10, all right? The 10 council. Okay,
Council.
so we have a council. The president, we have a 10-member council, and ideally you can have maybe a council in charge of foreign, and maybe the immigrants, so that these guys called Asians, the Asian can be represented. All right, so we have 12. Okay, it's basically a number. Okay, then we come down. We say each state province to be subdivided into 7. Okay, so that we have 7 constituencies. So total we'll have 70. That will reduce the number of members of parliament from 290 all the way to 70.
Is there anywhere where this is working globally? Before we come back to, I'm just trying to think if there's a model where you saw this of Trinitocracy working well, where you thought, you know what, we need this in Kenya.
No. There is no model. There's no model. It's like a child. It's a new child. Can we build it up? It's the idea, can we build it up? All right?
You know why I'm lost, George?
Yeah.
In the way you were describing the Trinitocracy, it's the principles. You're saying that our principles are warped somehow. Our principles of how we practice our democracy, how we practice our living, our daily life is warped. And then now you've come into prescribing solutions that are completely not even discussing about the Trinitocracy, but now I hear like we're having a different conversation in terms of your constitutional amendment bill. Your constitutional amendment bill is dealing with a current issue and dealing with just structure. Basic structures. Because, for example, I don't see the connection between amending Article 43 to call some foods basic and others luxury and creating 70 constituencies. I'm not seeing the connection, how that builds into this one.
Into the value issue.
You from see, Trinitocracy, democracy with an infusion of theology, and then calling some foods basic, and then creating 10 provinces with 90 constituencies. I'm not getting the connection.
The constitutional amendments especially, those don't speak to values. I think as far as values are concerned, the constitution is very clear. And through, we've spoken to the fact that our constitution, one of the best, if not the best, 10 over 10 would highly recommend. It's how we implement. And then you spoke of the values. So then the problem isn't in which good is basic, which good is... if you have the right people in power, to be honest, they would never add tax on a basic commodity like bread if the economic situation is not conducive, right? If you have the right people in power as well, you don't need to amend the constitution. That's the question.
But then again, just to respond to the same, how do you protect it? How do you... we want to break from the systemic thing. How do we break from that? And when we break from that, do we still go with the same structure that is there? All right. So what I'm doing, actually today was just more of a pitch something. It's not really going deep. It's just putting, throwing in the mix, throwing in the ideas, and then seeing how it comes out. Right. So how do we? Yes, the principle is there. But how do we protect that structure? And to protect that structure, there is a spirit of it. Okay. So this, what I'm proposing when we talk about the amendments, is protecting the spirit
of it. The closest parallels, because I did a quick search, and yes, you're right. There's currently no country in the world that practices Trinitocracy as an official system of governance. The closest parallels, which we've mentioned, are Iran's theocracy, where clerical authority shapes governance, and Vatican, ruled by the Pope, where religious authority and governance merge.
Right. Interesting. So those are they're almost pure theocracies to me, because you don't elect a pope. It's not a an election that's open to the masses. If you're a citizen of the Vatican, the pope is the pope. It is what it is, and it's the priests that elect him. Then I'm thinking of Iran as well. You don't elect the supreme leader, the Ayatollah. I'm trying to remember their title. Yes, you don't elect them either.
Yeah, then historical kingdoms where monarchs ruled with religious legitimacy, like ancient Israel's prophets and kings, or medieval Europe's divine right monarchies.
Yeah, he did mention that.
Yeah,
ancient Israel. All right, so we've thrown our ideas. I'm trying to see what we can pick from what we've discussed over the last hour, which is, do you genuinely think that theocracy, adding theocracy to our democracy, is the answer? Because I don't know if that will add values. Again, it'll be on paper, but not in spirit. So then we'll end up with the same problem, same people, same challenges.
Let me answer this way. The senator who was just left talked about corruption, as a pandemic in Parliament. And I narrowed down and said, actually, it's not really corruption. Is you look at it from an angle, or I've picked it from 5 different perspectives. There is corruption as giants, corruption of giant. I mean, giant of corruption. There is the giant of injustice. There is the giant of unemployment. There is the giant of economic crisis and debt. And then there is the giant of moral decline. So how do we bring down these giants? Okay? How do we bring down these giants? Sometime back, 2023, when Magoha passed on, I had, by the way, I ran for Member of Parliament 2022, Kajiado North. I didn't make it, but things went the way they went. They say the party belongs to kuna watu wa chama, But one of my passions was, how do we solve the problem, okay? Then I'm a man of God, yes. I prayed and I had this dream. And I was taken to State House. And in State House, I saw the president. And he was surrounded by 12 men with white hair and 7 men with black hair. And then he was lifted up and taken to the Takwel Basin. His heel touched a very long river, okay? And the moment he touched that river, he turned black. Then he was lifted up again and taken to the Western Basin. There was this house that was rugged. At the center, there was a yellowish, brownish, like rock or stuff like that. Then the dream ended. And I felt like that would be the solution for our country. So I asked and started interrogating, what is the meaning of that?
Dream,
all right? And this is where now the principles come in. This is where the structure comes in. This is where the 10 state provinces plus or to 12 plus 2 come in, all right?
Into 7 units again.
And then the river turned out to be oil. We have oil in this country that is flowing. There's a time last year I went to Marsabit and I met this lady who works from National Oil. He said the oil in tallow is like kiwi. It has to be heated up. But what I saw was, you see like the Texas,
the oil rigs.
Yes, the oil rigs. That's what I saw. We have gold in this country able to sort out our issues, our debt issues and etc. Okay? So that's a solution already. Okay? So trying to make sense of all that will bring us to the way of Trinitocracy.
But you see, not everybody shares your discernment.
Correct.
And I think that's where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
Because it's very much, it's true. Like, if you think of faith, you go into that faith world. It's, you have the gifts of God, there's prophecy, evangelism. But then you're trying to make it make sense to a wider demographic.
Yes.
And they're not rooted in those same beliefs. So I think that's where it gets it becomes a bit of a disconnect, where George gets it, and even what he's described is described as visions, discernment. They exist in that space, right? But it's like, how do you then come and tell the country, this is the vision I had? And I know that was something that happened a lot, years, decades, centuries ago. Those gifts were really respected. And then over time, they came to be weaponized. So even though you want to carve this Trinitocracy and you're like the priest, the head of the church, who's to say where that compromise lies, and then how that affects how the country runs. It comes down to that. It's very
discernment is it's personal. It's very personal. Between you and God. So then who is to say that your discernment is right?
Somebody might be like, Sawa, I've heard my vision sounds like this. So it's like, okay, battle of the visions.
I think maybe to respond to that, I would say the moment you have such kind of visions, it always comes with signs, right? When I was invited here, I was waiting for the sign, and the sign was the message we are on, right? So it built that confidence and had to prepare.
Just pause there, George. Sorry. I believe we have been asked to cross over to do a quick link before we come back and close the show. Live at Movenpick. We have Zaha Indimulish, looks stunning. She's hosting the red carpet, I believe, as guests make their way into the main session. So Zaha, if you can hear us, tell us a little bit about what's going on right now, and then we'll come back and close Fixing the Nation. Zaha, over to you.
Thank you, team at Fixing the Nation. Welcome to the next Hash Summit happening here at Movenpick Hotel. This is an incredible day to look at women where we are, Beijing 30 years later. This event is sponsored by Nation Media Foundation and FP 2030 to bring to you the reality of women in health, in education, in power, and importantly, the women we have today in their own celebration and their authenticity. Thank you so much for being with us today. Back to you on studio.
Well, it's okay. I'm underdressed, but I'm really confident and excited about the next Her Summit.
How do you mean you're underdressed?
No, I'm just laughing. Like, she looks like she's hosting a red carpet.
Right?
Yes.
She looks great.
She looks great,
But it's great to hear from Zaha. Of course, we'll be crossing, we'll be ending the show in just a few minutes, but we just want to hear from a parting shot, just basically from George, and figure out if you had one final message, right, to the people of Kenya as regards to a Trinitocracy, what would it be in a minute or less?
Okay. Just probably a final message would be, we need to be strong. We need to be fearless in the face of our enemies. We need to be brave and upright, that God may love us. All right. We need to be honest, okay, and speak to the truth, even if it leads to our death. And we need to safeguard the poor, okay, or those who are helpless. We need to safeguard them, okay. That would be my parting shot, okay. But at the end of the day, Trinitocracy can be a way we can consider as a nation. Yeah.
We have to wrap it up there.
Yes.
It's been a great show. I mean, we've had a lot of great discussions.
There are people who see what you're saying.
Yeah, I agree.
There are people who are like me, I'm lost.
It's
right?
It's to do with personal conviction vis-a-vis bigger picture.
Yeah.
It's that thing.
It is.
But yes, but thank you. Thank you all the same.
A big thank you, George.
Okay,
and of course, a big thank you to Senator Eddie Oketch, and of course to Senator Dan Manzo. Yes, I was about to call him Daniel Manzo. But of course, that Senator for Makueni and Senator for Migori, helping us break through corruption kwa Senate. Senator Oketch said, I know of no such thing, that does not happen. And of course, talking about opposition unity with Senator Manzo. And you know what, Amesama, if Raila decides to defect back to opposition, he will queue in line like everybody else.
Anger line.
Right?
Yes.
We've also talked matters, theocracy and democracy meeting, of course, with George Mugo, Simba ni, Simama Imara,
Madam Bro Amka.
Amka.
Thank you so much. Hashtag is Fixing the Nation, NTV, across all socials. Continue to engage with us, especially Fridays, so you know the conversations are going to be amazing. Please tune in from 6 to 10 a.m. From us in studio, it's a big, massive thank you to Patane Kesho Asubuhi.